Alright, hello, welcome back. This is Assassin's Creed Syndicate, yet again. Just gonna be playing this through for the next little while until, the new Assassin's Creed comes out. What I want to talk about was a little bit about facts, about how we perceive facts. I am currently reading a book, a philosophical book, and I'll just say, I'm not going to name the book, but I will say straight out, I don't agree with the author on many things, and one of the things I don't like in particular about this particular book is how negative this author is being about people who have differing viewpoints from the author. That having been said, it can make for some interesting reading. Anyway, one of the things that was stated in it about facts, the author quotes somebody. I actually have no idea who it is, or if the author quoted this person, the correct person from this, but I have heard this statement said several times about facts, which is a person is entitled to their own opinions, but what they are not entitled to is their own facts on things. Now, why I bring this up, because this struck me as kind of an interesting comment to make in view of the book, in view of what they were writing, what the fact that they were disputing, that someone else had claimed. They were disputing a fact that someone else had claimed as a fact, and they said this isn't a fact, they have no right to say this, is essentially what the author was trying to say. Now, darn it, I was trying to get my hood on. Darn it, that X is used for more than one thing. Regardless, it occurred to me, when looking at this particular fact, as opposed to it occurred to me that there were possibly two different viewpoints on this, and that that this one person's fact, it might be false to the person writing the book, but it may not be false according to the person who initially used this fact. And it depends upon the perspective that each person presented in this. So, in kind of an attempt to look at this and to kind of, wanting to do this fairly, or view each of these positions and points of view as fairly as possible, what I want to do.
Intruder! She's right
there! What I want to do, specifically,
everything will be all right.
with this, was to take a look at the two different types of facts. There's objective, and there are objective facts, and there are subjective facts. So to give you an example of this, of what I mean by subjective versus objective facts, I'm going to come right out and say that
don't fret, children.
I don't trust grown-ups, but I like your style, lady.
That there are, like I said, there are objective and subjective. Ah, darn it. Now I'm in combat. Oh, there we go. Couldn't quite get to her in time. So, just giving this as an example.
Don't worry.
For me,
This much longer.
the existence of God is a fact.
What are you doing in a place like this?
Whereas, for other people, it is not a fact. I believe in God, other people don't necessarily believe in God, and that's fine, that's okay. But let's... Whoa, who saw me? Who's over here to see me? Okay. Whew. Completely missed her. Wow. Okay. So, getting back to the facts of the matter. Yeah, people who don't believe in God will not accept the existence of God as a fact, per se, and indeed will consider it to be erroneous, as an erroneous piece of information. It's now, so that's the difference. It's subjective based upon your own belief system, whether God exists or not.
Look sharp. I will be back.
Yay, got them all. And that's the difference between objective and subjective fact. It's your perspective, your own point of view. And as such, it makes it very, very difficult, I think, for a lot of people to, for facts to be objective, and indeed pretty much any fact out there can be challenged in terms of objectivity versus subjectivity. In other words, even scientific facts, people can go about and say, well, this isn't a fact. Ooh, I've got a... Ooh, Lilla Graves. I've got to take out a game leader.
Bloody fry twins apart and bring me the pieces.
Okay. She is on the move. Okay. So... Whew. Yay. Anyway, sorry, that stressed me out. So even scientific facts can be challenged, and indeed, scientific facts are almost in a constant state of being challenges. That's how we get new information coming out. So there's no real, per se, every objective fact can be challenged. I'm not saying there's no such thing as an objective fact. I'm just saying that it can be challenged and often is. Yeah, that having been said, yeah, it's virtually impossible for someone to come out and say, you know, you're not entitled to hold this to this because it is you're not entitled to think any differently than the fact that I am currently presenting before you, because it's objectively, it's a fact. It's virtually impossible to say that about just about anything, just because so many facts can and often are challenged. I'm gonna go for that chest wherever it's at. It's right upstairs. Now what really kind of made me think about doing this particular video was a comment that was made and about facts in this ooh. There's a crossway here. I wish I had remembered that. But a comment that was made in this particular book, which was, you know, you cannot deny that 2 + 2 = 4. You cannot just come right out and say that it equals 5. And maybe it's right above me somewhere. I will find this treasure chest. Now, what makes this interesting is that I was told many years ago of this story about making assumptions based upon your own biases and not upon information. And it's the story of a Aboriginal gentleman who was considered by the, shall we say, more European people he encountered to be an unintelligent man. And he was considered this way. I think I'm going to head over here and get that treasure chest, so I can go down street level. He was considered... Darn it, I hate it. Trying to get down and just we're not being able to. There we go. He was considered unintelligent because he, when asked if 2 plus 2 equals 4, the answer he would always give was no, 2 plus 2 equals 5. And everyone just... he was dismissed for quite a while by the more European people because obviously 2 plus 2 equals 4. This guy just doesn't know what he's talking about. Until finally, one day, somebody finally thought to ask him, wait, why do you think that 2 plus 2 equals 5? And so this man took 2 pieces of rope, and in each piece of rope he tied 2 knots. So there's 2 knots per rope. And he held it up to the man, held one up to the man, said, how many knots are in this rope? And the man says, well, 2. And then I'm getting distracted by the game, sorry. And then the man held up the other piece of rope and said, okay, how many pieces of rope are here? And the man said, well, 2, obviously. And so he said, okay, now we will put them together. And so he combined... No, I'm not going to do that. He combined them by tying the 2 ropes together. And then he showed the man and said, how many knots are in the rope? Now, the man was forced to admit there are 5 knots in the rope. Because, you know, there were the 2 knots per rope, plus a knot added to the rope that tied the 2 ropes together. Now, I'm not challenging, you know, the basic tenets of math and saying that 2 plus 2 will always equal 5. That's far from the point. I'm saying in that particular set of circumstances, 2 plus 2 did equal 5 because you needed to add an additional 1 to it to make it work. And that was what people were ignoring. This idea. We're ignoring it because, you know, obviously the man just didn't know what he was talking about. And that's what I mean by objective versus subjective truths. It's that different situations can create different perspectives on these truths, and these different perspectives can, in some cases, completely and totally change the truth as we see it or as we know it. And we should be cognizant of that. We should be aware of the idea that what we hold to be very true, these truths that we hold, I'm basically going to be quoting Star Wars here, can vary, sometimes greatly vary, based upon our own beliefs, our own perspectives. And so what we think is objective is in fact subjective or circumstantially based. And as such, I don't believe that it was a fair or good point of view to, in this book, or really any book, to dismiss a fact someone else has said by simply stating, these people are not entitled to their own facts. Because if these facts are based upon, as I said, subjective or different perspectives, then a person is in fact entitled to their own facts. So anyway, that's a quick look at subjective versus objective. Like and subscribe if you liked it, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, and final view of VV there in front of Buckingham Palace. Alright, see you. Yep, see you next time. Bye.